Safety cooking tips. Safety tip number 1. Always use oven mitts.
Alright. Slowly.
Never sample something too hot. Stay sanitary.
For those of you who enjoy making mommy's favorite dishes out of the comforts of your dorm, listen up, because the following information could potentially save your life. Despite what many may say, kitchen accidents can be deadly and can also happen to you. Presently, cooking accidents are the #1 cause of fires on Loyola's campus. When cooking, be careful and be wise. Never leave your food unattended. You are not only protecting yourself, but those around you as well. Simply remember, before you eat, watch how and what you heat.
There are some alarming new figures being released today by the government. Fires on college campuses have nearly doubled over the past 10 years. That's a big worry for students and parents who are sending them off to college.
And I'm knocking and I'm yelling, I'm screaming, it's a fire, fire. Guys, get up, it's a fire, it's a real fire.
When fire broke out in a dorm at Seton Hall University, resident assistant Dana Christmas tried desperately to get her students to safety at her own expense.
My scalp is on fire. My hair is burning. And my fingertips, they are on fire. They're burning.
It was January 19th, 2000, shortly after 4 a.m., when hundreds of students were forced to flee their residence hall. The fire started in a third-floor lounge, on a floor where Dana was in charge.
And no matter where you go, there's smoke. It's like you're living a nightmare. And you want to escape.
And at that point, you still didn't run to try to save yourself?
No.
You stayed behind to try to get other students out?
Yes. In my last attempt to alert the residents of the fire, I collapsed on the floor.
Burned over 60% of her body, Dana was one of 58 students injured in the blaze. 3 students died.
Just to know they suffered like that, with the immense smoke and the fire, being engulfed in all the flames, it's just... Why?
On-campus fires are on the rise, jumping from more than 1,800 fires in 1998 to nearly 3,300 in 2005.
Students should know where the risks occur in cooking, in smoking, in candles, and overloaded power cords are really the places for the biggest risk of fire when kids go off to school.
Cooking fires are the leading cause of home fires in the United States. So we are about to show you the do's and don'ts of handling a grease fire.
In just minutes, an entire house can go up in flames. And most of those fires start right here, the kitchen. Cooking fires cause more than 480 fire deaths each year and nearly $900 million in property damage. Grease fires that get out of control are one of the main culprits. To see firsthand just how out of control they can get, we went to the State Farm Building Technology Research Lab outside of Chicago.
Do most people know how to handle a kitchen fire?
I would say not many people know how to handle a kitchen fire and what to do if it were to start.
State Farm researcher John Donovan is an expert in grease fires. With firefighters standing by, he helped us set a pan on fire to show us what not to do in a kitchen fire. You might think water is the best defense, but not when it comes to a grease fire. Just watch what happens when John throws a small cup of water on the pan. The flames double in size almost instantly.
We threw probably 1.5 ounces of water on that fire, and you saw the flare-up we got from that. Absolutely the worst thing you can do to a grease fire is throw water of any sort on it, any amount, anything. No water.
And here's what happens when John tries to smother the fire with a wet towel. Again, the fire becomes more intense.
The other hazards are you may try and put the towel on there and actually pull the pan off of the stove. Well, then you've got burning oil on the floor. Most likely you've got it on whoever was trying to throw the towel on. So you're just you're causing more problems than you're trying to solve.
The flames in a matter of seconds.
So basically you pull the pin, you squeeze the trigger, and you're aiming at the base of the fire. You want to put that fire out at the base. If you put it up high, the chemical falls on top of the fire. It doesn't do a bit of good.
Here's something else you can do. If the flames are small enough, carefully put a lid on the pan and turn off the heat.
Don't try and move the pan. Many people get burns or start fires elsewhere as they're trying to take that pan and get it outside.
And once that lid is on, don't remove it. Watch what happens when John does just that.
Even if you've turned that burner off, that pan is holding the heat, the oil is holding the heat, it's going to light again.
If a grease fire is left alone, even for a few minutes, your whole kitchen can go up in flames. Watch what happens when we let this pan burn. Within 30 seconds, the flames reach the vent. At 1 minute, the cabinets are on fire. 2 minutes, the stove and cabinets are fully engulfed and flames are reaching the ceiling. At 3 minutes, firefighters come in to knock the fire down.
From the time that fire starts, how long do you have to realistically try to put it out on your own?
Once the fire lights, you have 30 seconds to a minute of opportunity probably. 30 seconds, you have a small flame, probably about this high. But after a minute, you're starting to get flames up almost as high as the cabinet. At 2 minutes, we've started to engulf the cabinets, so it's way beyond at that point. So realistically, if you can get it within the first 30 seconds, say you were standing in the room when it happened, you could probably get a lid on it and put it
Is this
out.
something you should have in your home, in the kitchen, nearby, fire extinguisher? So if you're going to have something small like this is a traditional fire extinguisher, look on the front, make sure it says ABC so you know it'll work on everything in your home. Wood, paper, grease, electrical equipment.
The kitchen is no place for the fooling around. You have to be careful, otherwise you'll deep fry more than you bargain for. Looking good! Smells is good! Let's try that again. This time, turn the pot handle in, so no one can knocking it around. You see, we are making the happy times. We are the notorious MSG, and you too can be the Chinatown hero.
Don't try and move the pan, and whatever you do, don't throw water over the fire. The effects can be devastating.